Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Allison Babberl. I'm the marketing content manager here at AgencyBloc, and I am joined by the one and only John Greene, founder and principal of Tri-Branch Resolution LLC. He's also got over 25 years of experience in the health insurance industry, and it's just a really great resource when it comes to all things going on in Congress and up on the Hill in Washington, D.C. So thanks so much for joining me today, John.
Thank you for having me.
So right now, carriers are submitting their plans rather to CMS for approval for the 2026 enrollment season, and they're looking at a lot of different changes. You want to kind of give us a heads up on the things they're thinking about, the changes they're looking at, and what they could experience this fall?
So I went to a rollout of uh, presentation of several plans, and there were a number of common themes among them. First of all, they said that the market is going to be as difficult this year as it was last year. And so you've already seen rate notices notices from carriers like United Healthcare that there are going to be more non-commissionable plans. And this has everyone in a deep panic over what does it all mean, what other carriers or shoes are about to drop. Um, so why are you hearing this now? Well, all the carriers have made a promise to inform the agent community and the FMOs of what their intentions are for the next AEP in advance of the AEP. And so that's why you're getting this information now. I think it's preferable to know now so that you know who you want to work with in the fall,
Definitely.
do your certifications and so forth. It's already a messy process, an expensive process to certify. So why certify with and make appointments with your clients to talk about plans that you're not going to sell, if that is the case? So they all have said that they will let you know ahead of the AEP what their intentions are in terms of service area commissions and application suppressions.
Do you know like how far in advance they'll let us know? Is that like a month, this summer, 3 days? What are they saying?
Well, it varies obviously from carrier to carrier, but August, seems to be kind of the general theme I'm hearing. I thought that the announcement from United Healthcare was very early. It is only May. While the news isn't good, they're keeping their word to at least inform you of what their intentions are. And some of you may have very large blocks of United Healthcare, and so figuring out how you're going to navigate that now, I think, is better for you in the long run. The other thing that they talked about is that they're tightening up their plan designs. And I think this is really to try to make them more profitable for them. So
Okay.
you're going to notice that all the plans are different than they probably were last year. There won't be, your advice may not be the same as it has been in the past. Just stay on the plan that you're in. You're probably going to need to review them a little bit more due to changes that they're going to make to the plans. And of course, they'll send you a summary of what those changes are. Another thing that the carriers are doing is they're really delving deep into D-SNP plans. And part of this is because the rules at CMS are changing, but it's a real opportunity to design and offer plans that they hope will be more profitable. I noticed a number of presenters spent quite a bit of their time of a portion of their time in the presentation around D-SNPs because they think that they're probably going to be more worthwhile for them in terms of their plan offerings and what they potentially can earn on them. They're also a little bit more complicated for you to understand I saw some presentations that I thought were quite good in terms of the tiering of how they were going to, what is offered under each tier and how one qualifies for that sort of plan. Uh, I noted that a couple of the plans actually offer long-term care and supports is the higher tier, and maybe they all do. I'm not as well versed on DSNP, but I know I can see that from the presentations that I'm going to need to be, as you will also need to understand them better. I know there's been a lot of confusion in the market about in terms of when someone can enroll in these plans. They were able to enroll monthly, but what I'm hearing is that the ask is for a quarterly opportunity to switch plans, as it were, for this population that are dual eligible.
Yeah, I think this year, I remember last year presented a lot of challenges and opportunities for the enrollment season. It was a pretty crazy enrollment season. So you're thinking this year is going to shape up to be another pretty intense one? Is that for both group and individual and Medicare, or just the Medicare space?
I think this is largely in the Medicare space, and it's largely due in part to the Inflation Reduction Act and how they calculate the $2,000 deductible cap. It largely they did it based on troop rather than MOOP, and I know that's kind of technical, but it basically shifts the responsibility for the increase in cost to the carrier, who's riding on a very thin margin already. And so what happened is last year is that when the rates were submitted to CMS, they were quite high because they had to account for that additional cost. And because it was an election year, and uh, they didn't want to take the hit for these high premium costs that uh, caught them by surprise. They created a demonstration program so that they could funnel money back to the carriers to help make them whole. And all the carriers availed themselves of it, but there was no requirement that they pay agent commissions in exchange for participation in the program. And I think that was a huge fault of that arrangement. And I said so from the get-go, that I felt that there should have been a quid pro quo there to still pay commissions. Now, this year, some of the carriers have said, well, despite the increase in payments this year, which were pretty robust, it only put them to 2022 level. So they're assuming that they lost out on additional payments over the years that don't fill the gap, so to speak. And
Yeah.
so that's why, they hope that between making their plans more profitable and still getting this additional money, uh, that it will help their profitability, but that doesn't mean they're going to pay you. And so I think that's a real problem still.
Interesting. I think it's going to shape up to be a really interesting year for all of us in the industry. And it'll be really cool to see the rest of these plans come out. As you said, they're supposed to come out before enrollment season. So let's just hope carriers stay true to that. So we know what is going on so we can really certify with the right ones and make the best moves forward.
Well, I think the last thing is that I know that you serve your clients well. And if you have a relationship with your member of Congress, I would encourage you to let them talk to them about this and let them know what it is that you do on behalf of the beneficiary, and get your clients to do the same thing. Ask them to that that is what will get Congress involved. I think they're going to need to get involved in this issue about commissions to either allow commissions to be uh, paid and at an appropriate level for the work that you do, or to allow you to charge a fee in some way. We have to look at the way that you guys are paid, and it may take congressional action to do it. So I think there's a lot of discussion ahead of us and debate about this. I know that there's strong feelings on both sides.
Definitely.
But something has to give because no payment at all is unsustainable and unworkable.
Thanks for this insight and keep us posted on what's coming out of those carrier plans. And next month, we'll get together again to do another insider's look at the industry and right here, right again with our good friend John. Have a great day, everybody.